If you have ever watched my show, you have heard by now I am a baby oil specialist. Buy this for your guy, lady.
This is Sean.
Steve Harvey just can't seem to stay out of controversy lately, and this time the spotlight is even more intense. Rumors have been swirling for years about his private life, but things took a shocking turn when his own daughter, Brandi Harvey, allegedly stirred up the internet with claims that hint at what really goes on behind closed doors. This comes right after online chatter accused him of living a
Sean Combs' connection to Steve Harvey. Everyone on the internet are making, quote, Steve Harvey and the diddler jokes. That's not me making the joke, that's the internet making that joke. Others
secretive double life and attending questionable industry gatherings. Rumors that many had already heard but never expected to be echoed from within his own circle. What's even more surprising is the long-standing tension between Steve and his biological children. Reports suggest Brandi has kept her distance for years, especially after feeling like she and her siblings were pushed aside when Steve chose a new path with Marjorie Harvey. At one point, she allegedly expressed frustration.
So now the story is that Steve Harvey and Diddy have been in a relationship,
claiming he showed more attention to his stepdaughter than to his own kids. For those unfamiliar with the family history, the story goes deep. Before his current marriage, Steve shared a life with his first wife, Marcia Harvey, with whom he had 3 children, twins Brandi and Carly Harvey, and their brother Broderick Harvey Jr. Not long after their son was born, Steve reportedly left that marriage and later married Mary Lee Harvey, with whom he had another son, Winton Harvey.
Steve Harvey is attempting to silence me right now. Everyone's got to look up Steve Harvey baby oil since he clearly doesn't want people looking that up. So Steve Harvey was facing a lot of criticism for being involved with Diddy and because he's weirdly obsessed with baby oil.
Following their divorce, he eventually built a new life with Marjorie, embracing her children as his own. Critics, however, have long questioned whether his focus shifted too far, leaving his biological kids feeling abandoned during his rise to fame. Back then, Steve was struggling financially, working as an insurance salesman before taking a major risk by pursuing comedy full-time after winning a small cash prize at a show. He later defended his choices, saying he took that leap to create a better future for his family. In interviews, he explained that although it looked like he walked away, his intention was always to provide something bigger. Over time, his children reportedly came to understand his decision, realizing his journey wasn't just about being a father at home, but about becoming a figure the world would come to know. That part really hits hard, because if you truly think about it, what must it have felt like for Brandi Harvey to experience all of that? One moment, she had her father present in her life, and the next, he was gone, leaving her, her siblings, and their mother behind to chase a dream. And even after Steve Harvey finally achieved success, instead of returning to rebuild what was broken, he reportedly moved on, enjoying his new life with someone else while remaining distant from the family he started with. It's no surprise that feelings of abandonment ran deep, because the absence wasn't just physical, it was emotional too. Brandi later opened up about how that period shaped her, revealing that she had to learn at a young age to suppress her emotions and grow up fast. Watching her mother struggle and sacrifice everything to raise them left a lasting impact. She reflected on those moments, saying that witnessing her mother's strength taught her an important lesson early on, that no one is coming to rescue you, and if you want something, you have to fight for it yourself. That mindset didn't come from comfort, it came from survival. But just when it seemed like the past was the most painful chapter, things reportedly took an even darker turn. As controversy surrounding Sean Combs began to surface, speculation started linking Steve to certain industry circles and alleged behind-the-scenes behavior. Rumors began circulating, suggesting that his exposure to that lifestyle early in his career may have influenced not only his personal choices, but possibly even contributed to the breakdown of his previous marriages. While none of these claims have been confirmed, they've continued to fuel public curiosity and debate. Adding to the conversation are resurfaced clips from Steve's past television segments, where he spoke unusually openly about his private life in a way that surprised many viewers. In those moments, he shared intimate details with a level of humor and honesty that some found entertaining, while others now view through a completely different lens. Whether taken lightly or seriously, those old clips have only added more layers to an already complicated narrative, one that keeps people talking and questioning what really went on behind the scenes. Now listen, I don't know how it sounds to you, but for many people, all of this is starting to feel a little too close to the same patterns that were being discussed around Sean Combs and those controversial parties. And just when you think it couldn't get any more unexpected, Steve Harvey himself once jokingly labeled himself a baby oil expert, even going as far as saying he preferred it warmed up before using it. That detail alone has raised eyebrows, especially since similar claims have been tied to other high-profile stories. In resurfaced clips, Steve can be seen enthusiastically praising baby oil during a segment, even humorously claiming it's one of the greatest inventions and definitely not just meant for babies. He joked about using it in all kinds of exaggerated ways, turning the moment into a comedic bit that had audiences laughing at the time. But looking back, especially with everything that's come out in recent discussions about Hollywood culture, some viewers are now reinterpreting those same jokes in a completely different light. He even took things further by creating a playful song centered around the idea, which he later shared online, adding another layer to the conversation years later. At the time, most people assumed it was nothing more than humor aimed at adult relationships, but now, with ongoing speculation about certain industry circles, some are questioning whether there was more behind those comments. On top of that, there have long been claims from various entertainers that hidden lifestyles are more common in the industry than people realize. Comedian Cat Williams even hinted at such things years ago without naming anyone directly, which has now led some to revisit his words and wonder who he might have been referring to. As for Brandi Harvey, she's largely stayed away from addressing any of this publicly. While there's speculation about how she might feel hearing these rumors, she hasn't made any direct statements, and given her private nature, many doubt she ever will. Meanwhile, the public remains divided. Some people dismiss the rumors entirely, pointing out that Steve has been making bold, comedic jokes like this for years, long before any recent controversy surfaced. Others believe that past associations and stories, including mentions of spending time with Diddy, could suggest he was at least aware of certain environments. At the end of the day, it's all speculation, but it's definitely sparked a wave of conversation. So what do you think? Are people reading too much into old jokes, or is there something deeper behind the narrative? Drop your thoughts below, and if you want more stories like this, check out the next video for even more behind-the-scenes drama.